Welcome back to Mr. Dunn's Ceramic Room. Today we're going to make whistles. Let's get started. Alright, welcome back. So there are a lot of different kind of whistles that you can make with ceramics, and a lot that are made all around the world. Some famous ones are the ocarina. I'm going to say that. I think made famous down in Peru. And I've tried to make these several times, successfully and unsuccessfully. There we go. It works, but it changes when it dries and shrinks, and so this one's too big. They sound better when you make them smaller, and it's the most work probably out of everything you can do here. I've seen train whistles made of wood. You may have seen those in shops. So I made one out of ceramics. It actually has 4 whistles in it, 4 different chambers in here. Have to have a hole in here so it wouldn't explode. So there's a micro hole to let some of the air out, but most gets thrown out these 4 whistles. And with the chamber being a different size for each whistle, they each make a different sound, and it sounds like a train. Yep, low, high. All right. Then I put one on the wheel, spun it up, and made this shape here. Set it this way, and the top of the bottle would be there. Blow it in there, and made 4 whistles. So each one of these is its own whistle. Cool, huh? All right. Different kind of sound to get with that. So that one's kind of unique. More into the kind of stuff that we're going to be making in our class. Animal whistles specifically, some kind of whistle like that. So you're going to create a whistle pretty small, and it'll have multiple sounds to it, hopefully. I'll tell you how that works. And then you connect it to a shape, and sometimes it is the whole shape. So this weird little animal here. So it's 3 sounds. The original one, a hole, second hole. That's all you get out of it. So we're going to try to do that for you. One of my favorites is the bird whistle. All you need is a football shape, and you fold it in a circle like a taco, but not flat, right? Rounded. And it folds in the seam line. Yeah, the seam line's on the bottom. And then you blend that all together, curve it up, tap it down so it sits flat, create a beak on one end, and then we make the mechanism on the other that makes a sound. And if you're lucky, you can get 4 holes in it. Right? 4 holes. And that's almost enough to play some songs at that point. I'm going to show you how to make this mechanism in a second. I have 2 more to show you. Last year we made a whale. Got inspired by that. So you're going to blow in here. And we ended up getting 6 holes there. And the mechanism blows out here. This is where it whistles. Alright, well you got to practice to make songs. So, cool little whale animal, right? So the whole body here becomes the body of the whale and the whistle. Another one that many students like to do is this little fish one, or anything else you can hook it to, because to make the body is pretty simple. It's a square piece of clay that we're going to fold all 4 corners to the middle here and blend this side, right? And we're going to make the whistle. This one's what I think I started with. I think there's a hole in the bottom. There you go. Pretty high pitched. So again, smaller, higher pitched, larger, lower, more air it takes to make the sound. Okay? So come up here and look at the board. I'm going to show you how the sound mechanism works. Alright, check this out. I don't know how well this pen marks. Take a look. So, you have a place where you blow the air in. Let's just make this where you blow the air in, right? Air is coming in here. It has to have a chamber, like the, what do you call it? The one we just had. The whale. So you got this big whale. And here's the hole where it makes the whistle sound. This has to be at a 45-degree angle. And then come back around. Of course there's clay around this too. This is a slice cut of the whistle. So there it comes in here, gets pushed out this way and also swirls in here. Alright? So some things that are critical, the pressure in here is what diverts the air up and makes the whistle in here. So the critical things here are this angle, 45 degrees, and that this is clean, boy, let me tell you. No clay pieces sticking up in here, right, blocking the sound. You really need a clean, smooth hole here. You need a right angle right here, and this needs to really drop down somewhere a little bit. The more the better that this drops down so the air can swirl and come up and create that effect. Alright? So that's what's happening. So let's do it. Alright, so for the sake of time and effort, we're going to try to make these two styles, okay? One that pretty much the whole thing is the animal and the whistle at the same time. And this one, which really works well with getting more holes in it than often this one does, but you may have to add on some parts to turn it into whatever animal you want to. So let's start with this one. I think I'll have more success with that because I haven't done these in a year. Okay, so we're gonna create this body right here by making a square. So you notice it's not super big. Trying to get as square as possible, although not critically important. Alright, so that's going to be the body part. And let me also make this body looks like this. A really fat, rounded football. You don't want that getting that too thin because you won't have any room to bring it all the way around. Okay, let's just put this here in case we need it later. Alright, that will be that one. Here we go, this one right here. So I'm going to kind of reshape it up a little bit. Looks like a little bowl there. And then start bringing all four corners, like origami almost, to the middle here, okay? Ooh, that's some nasty water. Okay, we're back. Take some water. Of course, if its clay is nice and fresh, it's nice and sticky, scoring won't be too critical because you're going to blend all of this together. So we've got an air pocket in there, right? Once the air is sealed, then you're good. It won't collapse on you. See, you got this interesting little shape. So now, close it all up, blend it out. That takes a couple seconds. Some wet fingers. Alright. Hide the seam lines. Alright. Now I'm going to look for the place where I could blow in this part, see? I want one that's up high enough that it drops down, and I think this one looks nice and thick. So I'm going to pull this up. I see that I kind of pulled it up here. So it's flat up the top, and this is up high. These kind of angle down a little bit now, right? It's really sticky and wet. Need to dry my hands. Smooth everything out. Okay. Now the tricky part. So if you need me to help you with this part, it's no problem. I've done many of them. I can help you do that. I get this special tool. It's got a point on one end and a flat tapered cut piece of wood on the other end. A lot of times we use a popsicle stick works. And we're going to slide it right in the end here, straight into it. See? I'm going to go in a little ways and stop. I don't want to make a big round hole. Now I'm going to use my razor blade and go straight up and down, right about over here. See that? I'm going to cut out the wind hole, or whatever you want to call it. A little angle here. And now, guessing my 45. See, that's about a 45 if this was flat. Pull this clay out. It's too sticky. It's not going to come out perfect here. You're going to have to work on it. Alright. Often it doesn't get enough out. Take another layer. There we go. So can you see that? There's my stick in there. Holding that up. I got a 45 right there, and this is trying to be straight up and down over here and over here. Of course it's not, so now we take this stick and we can put it in there and pull out towards the hole. If this whole thing gets too big, it won't work. If it's too small, it won't work. You want it fairly square, I think, if I recall. Alright. Make a nice flat wall up and down, which will try to cover this hole. So then you got to come in with this hole and clean it up. And pinch it. You want that air coming in and blowing right underneath the 45-degree angle. Let's see. And it works. First try. Clean this up a little bit. So the rule is, and how it works is, if you can make a sound with that, that's the money. You got to whistle. So then you can put a hole in it. You don't put a bunch of hole in it and hope you have it suddenly magically have a working multi-hole whistle. If this hole works, we can add another one. If that hole works, we can add another one until it doesn't work, and then we clog it up. So here we go. Seems a little airy, but it worked. So let's make another one back here for the other finger. That one worked. Let's make another hole over here. See how it went airy, didn't work? So we can either clog that up, call it good, and build our fish on there, or tinkering with it and try not to ruin it and find out why won't it do more, because I sure like to have 4. That part seems good. That part seems good. It's up and down here, looks nice. I think it's from when we folded the clay in, underneath there's obstructions. So I'm going to use this hook tool like a dentist. Push down that. And then come out of there carefully. Now it works. That was it. There's clay down on the bottom from when we folded this closed. It was all jumbled down there, stopping the airflow. So, can we get 4? Oh, close it a little bit. I can try to reach in there again since that was the problem before. If you blow too much, this little sharp edge will get wet in here and will stop working and start to lose its ability. At some point you got to be done testing it and let it dry. Well, okay, so we got a 3-hole whistle. Then it's as simple as building your fish with your slabs here. So at the back, maybe I'm going to go. I don't like the way that's cut. You can draw some things on the back here if you wanted to. Put an eye. Don't put a hole though. Glaze might get in there. Make the hole smaller, and then it'll all work. Okay, there's our one fish whistle. All right, if you're tuning in just now to skipped ahead to do the bird whistle, good way to save time. This one has usually a deeper sound, it's kind of nice. But making this part is a little bit harder than that one, making this work, because you really need it to drop down, and there's nowhere to drop down, so you can see how this kind of bulges out right here. So I needed the air to swirl in here. Alright, anyway, so it never wants to stand up, so be sure you tap it down and make the flat spot. Alright. We're going to try to make this round here. Remember, this is the top of the bird. We're going to hook together the bottom. Often one side's more pointy than the other, so this will be the back, this will be the nose, the beak, I should say. Okay, getting these rounded here. Okay, let's start to seal this. I think we will go ahead and score this a little bit. Just help it to go together better. Chunks. Alright, here we go. Hook that together. So you get a banana, right? The more you can push the end to end, instead of sandwiching it, the more round it will look. And that'll be better. So I'm kind of just pinching these together until they become hooked up together. Then I can blend it, see? End to end. Try not to overlap that. Okay. A little crack up here because it's super curved. Alright. Trying to really get this together good. Okay, see how it's nice and round and plump? That's what we want. Like that. I may need to even rub this because it'll have cracks in it. Oh, there's a hole. Alright, smooth this out. So, which is our pointy end? I guess it looks like this one. This becomes the bird. So we're going to hold it both in our hands like this and kind of tap it down and bring it up. More in the front. That gives us our fat body, a flat bottom just so it won't roll over like this one. Not too flat. Then we can bend this head right back down into a bird shape. Alright. You'll get a pocket in here, you gotta fill that with clay. Shove clay in there. Alright. Then figure out what kind of bird beak you want. Alright. I'm going to kind of pinch this together a little bit here. Create a beak that goes out. So there's a lot of clay in here. You can pull this up and kind of have a crested head if you want. I think there's feathers up in here. See? Doing all this now because once you have the holes you don't want to mess with it and make it not work again. So we're going to do the sculpture element first. Pull up the wrinkles here so the head doesn't fall down. Almost like it wants to do a duck thing here. That could be cool. Make a little wood duck. Turn this more into a bill. Too bad we can't make it squawk like a duck as the sound effect. If someone knows how to do that, let me know. Something like that. A little bit of water here. Maybe more like a duck-billed thing. Alright. I can even do my little eyes over here. There. There we go. Any other major issues you want to take care of now? You may want to even score a wing line here. Do a little, just like a Nike swoosh, half of it. Sure you don't make a hole in it. Okay, just trying to get a stylized line there. You can scrape that out later. Now the hard part. Making this in here, see? So we need it more round. Love being able to have a long feather, but that means we need a long tube to get down to this part where it drops off. Right here. So it looks like feathers coming up. We might have to round that off a little bit. There we go. Kind of an oval shaped, because you know this is not round, this is flat. We're going to use this. I like using this one because this gradually gets larger as it comes back. Here we go. We're going to try to go right in the middle of this. Blowing down, kind of down a little bit. Now, we need to come way here, I think. Let's Let's use the blade. Cut this down here. Create the opening, little square hole. And our 45-degree angle here, which becomes kind of difficult because this is actually slanting down. Alright, let's pull this thing back out. I'm going to use it down inside here. To be honest, this is pretty tricky. I've done hundreds of them, that's why I can do it. And most students have me do it for them. So if you're at home, you might have to bring it in, keep it soft in a bag, and I'll make it work. Have to have a flat wall here, and then you got to go back and forth. This part of all these little pieces of clay getting in my way. And back in here, pushes it out. You're fighting back and forth. You can't have a bunch of clay sticking out right where you blow and where it comes out this hole into the chamber. It keeps it from working. Hey, first try. Let's try a hole up here. So we got one whistle. We can make a second hole, which this is the first one. Here's the second one. Yeah. Thought there were going to be issues. Sometimes the hole's all messed up in there and you need to try to make it nice. You have to take some more clay down there, flatten it out. Maybe get it in some water so it's sticky. Drop it down in there. That might be too much. And make a new flat wall here. Nice and clean there. Let's do like we did last time. Reach up in there. Push down any clay that's in the way. Looks pretty good. Alright, now we need a clean hole here. Kind of go back and forth and work through it. I'm going to pull this clay up, hook it on there. Looks better. The top part looks rounded, but let's see. Sweet. Yeah, it's so critical to have that really, really clean where it comes out of the hole here at a 45-degree angle. That's an odd effect that happens once in a while. It octaves up to a higher, super high pitch. Alright, let's get another one. Come on, we want 4. Just doing that again. One more. Let's see what we got here. Something's not letting us do 4 holes. Just like on the fish, we couldn't get clean 4. By the time I've done 20 of these in class, I'll be able to make them all. Do 4 almost. But every one of them is different. Well, it's going to be a 3-holer. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of clay, make a wedge, put some water in it. Probably going to clog up this biggest one here. Seem to be giving it the most problem. Blend it off, and I have 3 holes. Ta-da! The bird whistle. Alright folks, that's it for the whistle video. I hope you enjoyed that, and you're going to be able to make a bird whistle or a little like fish whistle or one of these other ones, a whale, anything you can think of. This could be a seal, almost anything in the ocean. Give it a shot. You can do this. Laters.